Most trade show booths suck. They hand out junk that nobody wants, like stress balls and koozies, and then you wonder why nothing comes from it. Well, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down how to design a booth that actually works using real marketing strategies and psychological triggers that are going to attract the right people and turn your booth into a lead generating machine, which is going to give you an amazing return on your investment of the trade show or the conference or wherever you happen to have your booth. If you're tired of wasting money at events, then watch this video before your next event, and I promise you, you will make a better return on your investment. The first problem with trade shows and conferences with the booths is that most people are just trying to get people over to their booth by giving away stupid stuff. So like I said, koozies and stress balls and like stupid sunglasses and things like that nobody's actually going to use once they walk away from the booth. This is a huge problem for two reasons. One, usually what happens is you're just handing out koozies so people don't have to do anything, and you're just handing them something and then they're taking it because it's free, and then they look at it, they say, oh, that's neat, and then they just throw it away because it's not something that they actually want. So the first thing you have to think about, what are you actually going to give away? My philosophy is I always want to give away items that people will actually keep and things that people will actually use. For example, when I give away t-shirts, my only rule when I'm giving away t-shirts is that they must be very, very, very comfortable. I'm 42 years old. I still have t-shirts from high school that I'll wear around the house on the weekend because they're so comfortable. But you give me a t-shirt that is not comfortable, I'm throwing that thing away before I even get to my car. There's no point in giving something away if people are not actually going to keep it. What you want to do is you want to think, how can I get the most runway out of this? For example, we worked with a DUI attorney one time, and he was trying to get clients for DUIs. So what I told him to do is go to forimprint.com, and they have these lighters that have bottle openers on them. I had him imprint his name, John Smith, DUI attorney, and then his phone number on the lighters. And then I told him to bring all those lighters down to all the bars in downtown Denver, because he lives in Denver, and just give them to the bars. And what's cool about this is that by giving away items that people are actually going to keep, because anybody that smokes is not just going to throw away a lighter, they're actually going to keep that thing. They're actually going to be looking at his name over and over and over again. And the cool thing about lighters particularly is that anyone that's ever smoked before knows that it's impossible to keep a lighter. That one lighter is going to get his name in front of 4 or 5 people. And he did that, and I think he got like 3 or 4 DUIs just from this campaign, and it cost him like $500 in lighters. The point is that you always want to make sure that you're not wasting money by giving away stuff that people are just going to throw away. Now that means that you need to buy higher quality stuff, and higher quality stuff costs more money, but we're not talking about the cost, we're talking about the return. What are we actually going to get? What is it worth to have something that somebody's going to keep that has your name on it over and over and over again? And not only that, what's it worth to have something that somebody is actually interested in getting, something that somebody actually wants? So the first thing is, if you're gonna give away stuff, give away good stuff, high quality stuff. The second thing that you need to think about is in the signage of your booth itself. A lot of times people will just put their company name up there, right? But the problem is people don't really care about your company. Now, I'm not saying don't put your company name up there, but front and center needs to be the solution that they are looking for. You need to call out the problem that they have and say, we offer that solution. For example, I was at a home trade show one time. I went up to a booth, and the booth said, did your homeowner's insurance deny your insurance claim? And the funny part is that I was dealing with my homeowner's insurance, dealing with a flood that I had in my kitchen. This is many years ago. Now, if their booth would have just said the name of their company, I would probably have never even known what to ask them. But they called out a very specific problem. They said, did your homeowner's insurance deny your insurance claim? Yes, they did. I would like to learn more about that. That got me to talk to them, and ultimately they got my business, and they ended up helping me with my homeowner's insurance claim. And that would have never happened had they not actually called out the problem that I was dealing with, the problem that they solved. Yes, you want to put your business name in there, but the bigger thing that you want to put on display is, what is the problem that you solve? What is the problem that they are facing? Because let's be honest, nobody cares about you. They care about themselves and their problems. They don't care about your company. They care about what can you do for them. The next thing is you want to make sure that you're always gathering their contact information. You want to figure out, how do we at the bare minimum get their name, their email address, and their phone number. Now, one of my favorite ways to do this is by having a very, very large prize. So for example, you can say first prize is going to get an iPad Pro complete with the keyboard and all that type of stuff. Like, have it be like a really, really good prize, and all they have to do is enter their name, their email, phone number to enter the prize. Here's where things can get a little cool. Don't specify how many winners are going to be the second prize. That can be some sort of special that has to do with your company. For example, everyone that gets second place gets 25% more value for whatever it is, or they get some sort of discount on your product. Although I don't love discounts, I would actually rather add value to something rather than taking your price down. For example, with a cruise ship, if you ever booked on a cruise before, they don't say book by December 31st and we're gonna cut your price by $200. They say we're gonna give you an extra $200 to spend. Create some sort of second place prize, and then after the trade show, after the conference, call every single person, congratulations, you won the second place prize. And in order to redeem it means that they have to do business with your company. You can come up with some really cool ways to do this, and it works very, very well. The most important thing is you have to make sure that you're getting everybody's contact information. It's also why giving away stuff that people actually want is important, because maybe you don't even have to have the great grand prize. Maybe it's a t-shirt. If it's a really nice t-shirt and you say, trade us your name, email address, and phone number for a t-shirt, or whatever it is that you're actually going to be giving away. Very likely you're not going to just get sale after sale after sale just from the conference. There's a concept in sales that it takes 5 to 12 touches to actually make a sale. To think that you're gonna go to a conference and you're gonna sign up a bunch of people just from your booth, it's not gonna happen. But to think that you are not leaving a ton of money on the table if you aren't getting their contact information is just naive. So make sure that you're getting their contact information every single time, and that's gonna allow you to get much more leverage from the conference or the trade show. And then the final thing, have you ever seen a really big crowd gathering in some public place and then all of a sudden you go up, you're like, what's going on here? I don't know what's going on, right? What you want to do is you want to attract people to your booth by having a lot of people at your booth. So the goal is keep people at your booth as long as possible. And there's cool things that you can do. And I've heard a couple of ideas that I really like. One is to have some sort of contest where you hide 10 QR codes throughout your entire booth. And they have to scan 10 different QR codes and they have to show you 10 different QR codes on their phone, proving that they found all 10 QR codes. And once they actually do that, they get some sort of prize or they get entered into some sort of raffle or something like that. That's gonna keep people at your booth a lot longer. The other thing that I heard, which is a great idea, is to put some sort of video game at your booth, and whoever gets the high score or the top 3 high scores gets some sort of prize. That's gonna keep people watching, and it's also going to give people a reason to come over to your booth, stand in line, do all that type of stuff. Use the power of social proof. Nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. If you use a little bit of common sense with your trade show marketing and your conference marketing, you can get a lot more value for your investment, and you'll sign up so many more clients, you will make so many more sales. I hope you like these ideas, and if you have anything that I missed that you do that works really well, please leave it in the comments below.